Hello, welcome to ArcanaUniverse. This is going to be your channeled message from the universe. Let's clear the energy. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. There's a lot of solar plexus that I'm picking up, solar energies. We have the sun here. We have the solar chakra right here. And Six of Wands also can be associated with Leo, which is ruled by the sun. And just a lot of like yellow energy that I'm picking up, like gold. Yeah. So what I'm getting from that is some of you guys have like low self-esteem or like low confidence is what I'm picking up. And I feel like up until this point, it just kind of always felt like you needed somebody else. There was some sort of like dependency energy that I'm picking up. So Spirit wants us to highlight that at this time and see if there's any additional information that we can get some insights to. The channel song that came on is called Nothing Like Us by Justin Bieber. And a portion of the lyrics goes like this. I must serenade you guys, okay? There's nothing like us. There's nothing like you and me. Together through the storm. There's nothing like us. There's nothing like you and me together. So somebody here is thinking about someone special, okay? It's like, so if somebody kind of saw you two together, they would always be like, wow, what a pair. Like, you guys just got along really well. So I'm picking up on somebody here that's just recently is like going through a breakup or a separation. Somebody that wants to move on, but it's been very difficult for you to move on because there's so many good memories that's coming through. And so right now you're just trying to find yourself again because up until this point, it's been a lot about them. And as mentioned, you know, you may be dealing with somebody who has strong Leo placements in their birth chart. Obviously, they don't have to, but that's kind of the energy that's coming through. So let's go ahead and see what's the additional information that our viewer needs to know. Past, okay. So it definitely wants to kind of touch base about someone from the past or something that happened in the past. Okay, we'll do this one first. Please remember, this is a general reading, so only take what resonates. We do have cross watchers, so roles can be reversed, but you will know if this is your story. So something about your past, somebody you were in love with in the past, that you had like some sort of a commitment with. You're still thinking about them. You may have been dealing with an earth sign or somebody who's just very grounded, reliable, and there's something about their smile. Like they have this like cute, small little smile that just like melts your heart, and you just remember them. Okay, yeah. But there's an ending, or there was an ending, and so that's what the universe wants us to tap on. Okay, so let's go ahead. So what happened in the past? So there's definitely somebody here that I'm seeing that really just like you had so much fun with this person, like everything you did, like every activities that you have done, it was always like fun times, and you really, you know, like this person. like they ended up becoming almost like your best friend or something like that. uh, and they really got like some rest from their work, because I feel like this person has been very tired. I think you knew something was up when they stopped like talking to you as much. You realize that they've become very busy within their life. And I see here that they ended up choosing their career. Okay, and they're, you know, they're sad, but it's also because they knew that like they couldn't hold on to you. So it's almost like a blessing in disguise in a sense, because like this person was just trying to do the right thing, the good thing, and not necessarily like keeping you. Yeah. But you kind of see it as like, wow, dude, this person really like wasted your time. Like you don't want to talk to them. You're very like hurt by what they said, what they did, and their actions. It's almost as if like they made this decision without including you. Um, but at the end of the day, you were like, you know what? I know my worth. Like, and even though I think in the beginning, right when it happened, you couldn't help but feel like, oh, maybe um, it was you that was the problem. You know, that's what you at first thought. Maybe you thought maybe you're the problem, or like, how come this person doesn't want to be with me? And like this person is not looking for somebody that is just like short term. They're looking for somebody long term that will stand the test of time. So if they feel like you're not it, they're gonna let you go because they have a conscience. Okay. And so the universe is really asking you to kind of consider this ending as a blessing. Like, I know sometimes our ego says otherwise. Our ego may say, like, oh, they start, like, you know, putting thoughts into your head, saying stuff like, oh, they let, it's like that Schmiegel, I'm getting that Schmiegel reference. It's just like, you know, Schmiegel is a being, but he had like these inner thoughts, right? These dark thoughts, and we can consider the ring as the ego or what have you. And then, but it was like Schmiegel was like, no, Frodo is our friend, like something like that. Like Frodo is our friend, but Golem, his alter ego, so to speak, he was just like no, they're not. Like it's just they're against you kind of thing. This is all a plan. And I think a part of you was trying to like, I don't want to say victimize yourself, but you were just trying to see it that way. Like they did all this as part of a grand plan, but it's just for reals though. Like try to put yourself out of the situation and really look into the actions that they did. Did this person drag you and keep you as long as they can and milk every energy and essence of love and hope out of you? No. They decided the right thing to do was be honest and just let you know, like, hey, I don't think this is gonna work out. And you're like, why? And they're like, cause I'm too busy with work. And like, but you're just like, no, that's not why. It's because of me. You know what I mean? It's like, it's become a little, I'm getting the word dramatic. It's like, this is not at all what they said or did. And it's almost become like you envisioned this scenario in your mind, and when you believe that this is that what you think is real, then of course it's gonna be like that. So the other side of the coin here is, let's look at how powerful the mind is. Okay, imagine if you did that the vice versa, the other way around. It's just, if you decide, so this is a spiritual lesson. I understand now why. Obviously, if I'm gonna go on here, I'm not just on here for shits and giggles. I'm not like I consider my time very valuable, But I'm doing this because I know I'm a child of God, and I know I didn't have these talents and gifts for no reason. And I know how much my spirituality and connection with one-on-one connection with God has made such an impact in my life. And even through the hard times and the good times, what have you, any challenges, like my faith, my spirituality is what got me through it. And connecting with the divine source, universe, God, you know, your higher self, like just connecting with all of that, and just, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm connecting with you at this time. You know, I'm sure some other readers out there, they have their own goals and aspirations, but I'm talking about me, myself, is that I'm on here because I want to help. I feel like I can share with the world on tips and insights as to not stay in something where there is no fertile soil there, in a sense, and trying to give you some insights as to kind of like to get out of your own ego entrapment of the mind and just try to see things in a different perspective. And so the advice coming through is that by learning from this experience, by hearing this message here, that you are the creator of your own destiny, in a sense, okay? You have a choice. This is where free will comes into play. You can either see a situation that happened that didn't work in your favor as something that you're going to hold on to for the rest of your life, or you can let it go, let it, give it back to the universe and be like, thank you for the lesson. I am so grateful. I am wiser now and I can move on. And it's again up to you, free choice, free will, that if a similar incident or scenario ends up happening again, will you repeat the history? Will you repeat what you have already learned? Some of you won't, because you understand and you realize that, hey, like before it progresses any further, you realize the trend, the you're seeing repeating patterns, okay? Whether that is good, positive, or negative, good or bad, or whatever label you want to put on, you know which side you want to ultimately want to be in. But if you feel like you need to repeat a situation and learn that message again because one, you didn't fully grasp the idea and you just want to repeat it. So it's up to you. Some people like going to school and learning and just doing things over and over and over again. But that's just kind of being in a hamster wheel. What are you going, like being conscious individuals, what are you going to do with all that knowledge, all that knowledge that you have gained? Will you actually apply it in your own day-to-day life? And I'm getting the word some sort of discipline, but it doesn't even have to be that scary of a word. Remember, like these words and definitions to these words and our perceptions of what they actually mean and how we associate with it, it doesn't have this being disciplined doesn't have to be good or bad. It could be both. It's just how you see it in that context. And so if you want to see it as a way to better yourself and grow, great. But if you also feel like, no, this is punishment, if you feel like you're learning all of this because it's punishment for you and you don't want it, then you know what to do. Stop being a part of it. Stop being a part of that situation and just learn to move on. Learn to graduate. It's like, do you want to repeat the same grade like every year? No. You want to move on, grow, because that's our natural state. We're not like plastic. We're a living being. And so just like the plants, trees and stuff like that, like we're growing, we're consistently changing in a sense. And even plastic too, like if someone like keeps pouring concrete or like rock against it, it's going to change its physical shape. You know, it's gonna lose and gain, and like that's all part of life. Okay, that's all part of life. And so, just to come back full circle, what the universe is trying to emphasize here is that do not hold a grudge. To just say thank you for the experience, because I see here you guys did have some amazing amazing times. You guys had some amazing times. Like, you guys were, it almost felt like a best friend kind of situation where you guys can like just enjoy each other's company, and there was definitely some indulgences that was had, and but somebody was just like, I don't know, I gotta focus on something else, and that's their free will and choice. And for you, and it's just like, don't beat yourself over somebody's choice to leave the connection. That's their free will. It's like if somebody didn't give you your free will, you know, if somebody says, no, you have to stay in this relationship and not grow, not learn, like, or if you happen to find somebody who wants to grow with you, or you guys are headed in similar directions, then that's compatibility is, I think, very important. I know there's the saying opposites attract, and it may be because it's just like, oh, this person has traits and experiences that you never seen. But it's at the end of it, what kind of like feels more pleasant is compatibility. You know, it's statistically, if the being more compatible, the connection will last longer. You know, if you're kind of headed in the right direction. But anyway, so I'm gonna go. Oh, just drop some cards. Okay, wait one moment. Let me just grab them. Okay, so these 3 cards just kind of slipped off here, and so it's saying we're not done here. Okay, we're not done here. For those of you who are still on here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more content. And let me know what so far in the comments what you thought of this. Like, say like, oh, I graduated. If you're like, you know what, no, yeah, you're right, I want to move on, like, happy, like, good job, congrats grad, like, you know. But you don't have to do that. Like I'm not, you do you. You do you. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to. But if you want to just be like, yeah, like, be your own cheerleader in a sense and just like proclaim it, go for it. Go for it. So let's go ahead. There's more messages here. Like, usually I like to keep my readings under 10 minutes, like, or at the 10-minute mark, because I don't want to wear myself out. I don't want to spread myself too thin, because I do all 12 signs monthly readings, and I just uploaded the April ones, and like I usually try to go on when I'm called to go on, and so but for this one, I'm just like, you know what, however long the message is, whatever needs to be heard, I will do it. Yeah. Okay, so what's the next, what else do you want us to talk about? Love. Okay, let's talk about love right now. All right. Okay, what about love? So there's going to be some sort of like truth. Someone's going to do a confession, or somebody's going to come in like and want to start talking to you. Someone is going to like text you, email you, write you, something like that. And it's going to be all like, because I feel like this is somebody that you're not really in physical contact with. This is more, it's been more of a virtual lately. And yeah, this is somebody that you haven't talked to in a while, so I'm definitely getting some level of a distance, because you have mainly been just kind of like focusing on yourself, focusing on your work, your career, and you've kind of like been up to that point where you're just like, you don't want to waste your time, okay? Yeah, so a lot of this particular energy that I'm picking up now is it's kind of a lot similar to the person from the previous read. It might be the same person, somebody who that kind of like walked away because they wanted to focus on themselves. They were just kind of like tired of giving their energy to others, and so they wanted to focus on themselves. Yeah, somebody here just knew their worth. A lot of the previous, yeah, it's the same energy. It's the same energy that I'm picking up. So somebody here has been like cheating, like somebody got cheated on, somebody lied, somebody got played, like maybe they went on a few dates or something like that, a date or two, and it's just like, where was the third date? Where was the, you know, like it just was very like short-lived, is what I'm seeing here. And so somebody had to walk away. Yeah, because somebody knew their worth. I'm getting strong like Virgo energy, earth sign energy. Obviously they don't have to be, or somebody with heavy Virgo or earth sign placements in their birth chart, but it's just like somebody here definitely knew their worth, and they're just like, no, yeah, I don't want to stay in a connection if it's just going to be short-lived, or if people are going to play games. Let's go ahead and tap into the future love energy. What's the future love energy? It's like almost like it doesn't want to say. Doesn't want to say. Okay. What's the future energy? So I see here, you're going to be connecting with somebody that you just have an overall very like happy times with. They may be a water sign, they don't have to be, or like strong water placements is what I'm picking up. But this is somebody, possibly Cancer or Pisces, strong energy of that coming through. But this, okay, so somebody here you're going to kind of like connect with, but you realize that they're not telling you something. Like there's something about them that is not consistent. I think they're either like very much in their thought, or they've done too many drugs or something like that. I don't know. It's just like they're not able to think cohesively. They're just like daydreaming. They're not really like taking action. They have all of these strong feelings, but yeah, some of them have resorted to their vices. Either they drink a lot, or like they smoke a lot, or something like that. They just kind of try to escape reality sometimes, and that's been one of the reasons why I feel like some of you may already, do they know this person, or is this somebody brand new? I think I think it's somebody that you did never really got stuff off the ground with. Like, so it hasn't never been like anything official, anything serious. It's just been like admire from the distance. Like there's a lot. I'm guessing. I mean, I'm feeling a lot of like distance between you two, and so this is definitely like somebody you haven't seen that many times or haven't met at all, or like a long distance admirer is what I'm picking up. But I feel like this this I feel like this ended before. Yeah, this was a connection that never really got off the ground, but I feel like they may be making a return to you because you realize like, ah, I see what you did there. Some of you may have kind of like thrown a little bone or a clue or like a little energy exchange, or kind of letting them know energetically that, hey, like, you know, I feel like they're going it with the intention of, you seem like a nice person. Like, would you want to be friends? And so I feel like that might be something that you are thinking right now towards them. You're like, they weren't they weren't a bad person. Like, I think they were just somewhat insecure, perhaps about their money. They may have felt like they weren't enough or they didn't make enough. And so they just kind of like started daydreaming and pondering like, is this somebody that you guys will actually like get off the ground, so to speak. And I feel like somebody here was trying to paint a picture of their life, like they weren't being honest. Somebody was just kind of like pretending to have more money than they did, or having like a higher social status than they did, or like if they were actually an introvert but they just pretended to be an extrovert just to seem cool or just to seem engaging. But I feel like obviously, somebody here picked up on that facade, and I think the main reason why you guys are so like pulled towards one another is, one, there's some sort of like kindness and generosity at the core of this connection. I think both parties um, has like a that's their preferred state. They don't, nobody really truly wants. Like, some people do share, like, different strokes for different folks, but I feel like these two pairs ultimately just want to be understood, reciprocated, and loved, right? And I see here that there is a lot of like attraction between the two of you, and this person, this like heavy water energy, is very like motivated by you. They're inspired by you, and you almost give them like, they may not have ever told you, but maybe they're keeping tabs on you online, and they just kind of want to energetically say to you, it's like, baby, you don't have to tell me, like, I already know. But it's like, um they want to say that you're an inspiration, like, and you you want, like, you make them want to be a better person. It's a very beautiful energy. It really is. It's very like, um it's such a sweet energy. It is. But what I don't like about what's going on here is that this person is not telling you that this is how they feel. And I think that's one of the reasons why this connection never really got off the ground, or was severed or ended, because they just pretended like you weren't a big deal when you were a big deal to them. Like they got scared. They got spooked, they got scared, and they just self-sabotaged it, is the label that I'm sensing here. But they're still admiring you from afar, as the best way they can, perhaps like stalking through social media and whatnot. But That's what I'm feeling here. Okay. Um, what's the feature of this connection? Hey, let's ask it. I know you've been thinking it. What's the feature of this connection? Okay, let's do ultimate. Can we do ultimate? Because this is just saying like, oh, someone's gonna be here, just like hanging around, not making a decision. Like, oh, just not really like. I don't really. It's like they're on the brink of inspiration to like actually take action, but right now they're just like admiring you. They're just admiring you at a distance in a very peculiar way, is what I'm picking up. Okay, what's their ultimate? Can we know their ultimate? What's going to happen? Wah, wah. Somebody, I'm sorry, like it's this person is not gonna get out of this. Maybe, you know what, if you share this with them, if they happen to see it, and if something in them like lights up and they're like, yeah, let's do this, like get all pumped for it and just make the move, then what will happen? If they not be in this energy of like, ooh, if they take action, would this connection last? Will there be something beautiful there if they take action? Oh, this almost fell. This almost fell. Okay. Hmm. Okay, I see here. Okay, so some of you were, I'm gonna just say, some of you are really hoping that this connection would like lead to marriage and stuff like that. I think this is more of it is possible, I think, to be like in a relationship, but then I think somebody is not going to be like they're gonna like imagine like they were so scared to start a relationship with you. Okay, do you think that they'll, if you're looking for marriage, like a marriage kind of material, do you, if they're so scared to even be in a relationship with you, do you think they're not going to be scared to be married to you? Like I think this is just, there's a lot of like fantasy energy that I'm picking up. And so if you're the type, if you wanna if you're the type to take things slow, like if you're just looking more for a friend, something casual, like go right ahead, like entertain this energy all day. But remember how we were just talking about compatibility? If you guys aren't aligning, it's like, okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, cute, super super cute pup, like cute puppies, all of that. Guess what, you're allergic. You like them, you adore them, you think they're so cute, they'll be a good companion, all of that. Guess what, you biologically cannot stand them. You're not biologically compatible. So kind of that was kind of like an extreme, like you like, you know, so allergic to the point you're wheezing, you can't breathe, you get bumps on your skin, like hives and all of that, like, and you're willing to make your body go through all of that when you're not, you're literally, your body is rejecting them. It's almost like a fantasy. Like if you end up deciding to like be with them, like go out of your way to be with this person when maybe you can get like a hairless cat. Like it may not be what you were looking for, but you're compatible with it. It's just like, but sometimes there's a reason why. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying like somebody here can't change, because there is this possibility to adapt, to change. Because even I know I have a someone I know that was like allergic to shellfish for like since at a very young age, and they accidentally, like they were severely allergic, and And decades went by, decades, and they accidentally had some shellfish, and they realized it, and they're like, oh no, like I'm severely allergic. But guess what? Nothing happened. There's something like your biology, your chemistry, something like that changed. So unless something like that changed, unless like you ended up getting immune, or you're in a place in your life where you can tolerate that. Like, I'm not saying like that's why I say like different strokes for different folks. Like, why be with somebody who wants polygamy when you want monogamy? Vice versa. Why, hit up somebody who wants, like, like stuff like that. But also, you just have to be. I think, like, for me, I strongly believe that compatibility is so helpful. It's kind of like, if we were to throw in another label as like twin flames versus soulmates versus karmics, like I think if we were to see it, if we were to give those labels another label, it's kind of like twin flames are like opposites but completes as one. Just like kind of like a magnet, so to speak, or like the sun and moon, like they kind of like yin and yang, like that kind of energy. That's how I see twin flames. When it comes to soulmates, I see it more like compatibility, like how the earth signs get along with earth signs. Like, it's just like, even in astrology, it's that's why I say like these divination tools like astrology, tarot, etc. Like, they're a guide. It's supposed to help us, because um to just kind of like have knowledge. So I think, yeah, that's why like search engines and stuff like that, we have so much like knowledge presented to us, but it's up to us. Like, you can't believe everything you hear, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying like, it's like that saying, like, I know everything yet I know nothing, that kind of thing. And so I can play devil's advocate and be like, oh, that's such a passive aggressive thing to say. It's just like, it is what it is. It's like, what do you, it's like, that's just reality. It's just reality. And so, but in your place, in this point in time, what I'm seeing here, if we're wrapping this up back to the reading again, is just like, what do you want? Right? They say the world is our stage, the world is our oyster. So it's just like, what do you want? And if you realize that, whoever you're with, even though they're cute and cuddly, like puppies and stuff like that, but you're just not vibing with them, you need to let them go. Like, if it's to the point where it's hurting you, like, get out of there. Like, what are you doing? Like, you sometimes, like, and others' expectations and others' dreams and what they have, just because like it may look nice to you or something like that, but it's it's kind of like home is where the heart is and stuff. It doesn't matter. Like, you'll know. So I just hope that you don't feel like everything is just final, like this is the end, because it's never the end. I think that's one of the reasons why, like, there is this like victim mentality, or just not being able to break away and move on, is because like, people choose to hold on to things that that they're supposed to move on from. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, just through spirituality, and not holding on to things, even though there were good memories and stuff like that. It's learning to let go with grace and gratitude, and at the same time healing yourself, to know that there's more out there, and uh, yeah, there's a silver lining to everything. There's a silver lining, and that's That's what I've learned. That's what my outlook is. There's a silver lining to everything. So no matter what you're going through, right, a lot of people hurt other people because they've been hurt. It's like ends up being like a never ending cycle. So this is where transmuting things kind of happen. It's like that saying, you know, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, that kind of thing. It needs to stop with you. It's kind of like anything that we ended up acquiring at this stage, at this place in our life and time, like, you know, with laws, for an example. It's just somebody was just like, enough is enough, and they made it into a law. Like, and I'm not saying all of those laws, like, they were good at the time, or like that's what the people wanted at the time. But as you know, laws can change, rules can change. People have, like, you know, the world is not as it was like compared to like 50 years ago or beyond. The world wasn't like it was yesterday. Like, we've changed. And so let's just keep going, like keep expanding. And I love that one of the things that we have as a collective, as a community, that's been very popular lately is utilizing social media to pass on to each other like life lessons, life hacks, you know, little tips and tricks to make life better, easier. I think that's very like Aquarius thing to do. Um, and I think that's one of the reasons why, because we are in the age of Aquarius, that we're able to pass along those kinds of things. Obviously, the generations before has contributed so that we are where we are at today. So like, you know, like the Scorpio, Pluto and Scorpio generation were the people that actually like found it, discovered it, uncovered the truths, and took risks and implemented it. And then the next group, like Sagittarius, like really started sharing it globally. And this is how I see astrology and the trend of history. That's why when people say like, oh, astrology isn't real, whatever, like my stance on that is, you know, like we are the stars, we are the planets, and history has a tendency to repeat itself. And with astrology, it's been organized so that we can actually predict things that's to come based on the energies at play. And yeah, so wow, I guess, yeah, the universe really wanted me to like talk about all of this. And so I guess just back to the point about just astrology, and like the next generation after that was Capricorn. Pluto and Capricorn era was pretty much like, you know, what worked, what didn't work. We let go of the dead weight. Like, we put things in a systematic order, and got really serious about like taking out the facades and not just reality, being real. Okay, they were like, okay, how can we do this to build something? And then the next one, it comes to Aquarius. Now we're finding unique, creative, intelligent ways by thinking outside of the box on how we are able to spread through the rest of the generations. Like, okay, so you know what? I'll go far as back as Virgo. Okay, Pluto and Virgo, because I know some of my readers or some of my viewers will appreciate that. But so we started with Pluto, right? Pluto in Scorpio, so we'll backtrack. So, and then Pluto in Libra. I guess we'll backtrack to Virgo then. So Pluto and Virgo era folks, like they really nurtured their community. I think this was it the baby boomers, or are they Pluto and, let me see, let me look at them. Pluto? No. Okay, hold on. Pluto and Virgo. Born between 1957 through 1972. Is that the baby boomer generation? Baby boomer years. Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, it's within that generation. But so the baby boomers, their generation, how they contributed to society so that we're where we are at this time is because they were able to truly nurture the future generations. Like, they really cared, and they were able to provide some sort of a nest, like like a nest for their generations, the following generations, to like, there was some level of like anxiety that I'm picking up for that generation. There's some sort of anxiety because they always want there's also this feeling like they know better. They do, like that generation I'm getting is that they know, they're very smart. They know what they're doing. And so it's almost like they wanted to kind of keep the training wheels on the other generations, because, they didn't want them to fall. They didn't want to get hurt. But at the same time, they really wanted them to like stand on their own 2 feet and stuff like that. They were very realistic in that sense. But as we move on, like with the Pluto and Libra and stuff like that, like it really challenged, what was fair, and how we're going to, like, I don't want to say that they were kind of like out of the radar. It was just kind of like a period where it just felt kind of like easy, like cool, because not Venus, Libra is ruled by Venus. And so I'm just kind of getting like this period where people were able to just kind of like have fun. Like, I'm getting this like have fun energy, but at the same time there needed to be some sort of balance. Like, yeah. But anyways, so yeah, like, we are at a very opportune time to just like kind of like come together, embrace the age of Aquarius, and have it like work for us, because it's a very like humanitarian and collective kind of energy. And so that's why I strongly feel that the reason why I'm here, the reason why I'm utilizing social media to get these messages across, is like we've come to a time and place where we're able to share with so many people so rapidly and quickly through like, shares, and subscribes. Hint, hint. So like it's like you gotta do your part too. You gotta do your part. So let's go ahead and see what are any additional messages we have here. So remember, with this person that we were tapping into, is just, you really gotta understand, like, where are you within all of this? Like, do you want, like, you gotta be clear about what you want, okay? Because remember, you don't have to just like stay if you're not happy, if you don't feel fulfilled, if you're not finding joy, then like you don't have to stay. Like, you don't have to stay. But because it seems to me like you've tried to make it work and it just didn't. I'm not talking about like, oh, you didn't even give it a try. Like, you just, this is definitely somebody that you gave more than one tries to. Okay, so but they just moved way too slow for you. Any other messages? Career. Okay, some of you are very curious about your career, so let's go ahead. I think what I'll do is like these just like on the fly readings. I'll try to do them definitely at least once, minimum once after every monthly energy forecast readings. I'll do that so that you can kind of see collectively where we are. Yeah. And also any messages that needs to come through. Because I try to be good about like if I'm called to go on and do a reading, I'm definitely going to do that. Probably in the future, I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'll let you know when it happens. I don't want to just like put stuff out there and then just not do it. So if it's meant to happen, then it'll happen. You'll be notified if you're subscribed. Yeah. Okay, so career, one last one. So I'm getting here that somebody who was kind of like overseeing your finances, somebody who was in charge of making sure you get money or something like that, they were in your way. So I'm also it could be like a parent, it can be like a boss energy, you're a former employer, or like, I don't know, somebody who just kind of like looks over your finances or makes the final decisions when it comes to your finances, but you just felt like you were played. Somebody was you were pouring into this connection. Like you gave it everything you got, but somebody didn't fulfill their end. Somebody lied about, perhaps a promotion, an increase, a pay increase, or something like that. And when you realize that this person was full of it, that this person was just playing you and not being honest and was just dangling a possibility, it was actually promised to you. It was something like, oh, like you were certain to get it, but they just took it. It was just like a bone that was dangling, and it didn't really come into reality. So you dipped. You're like, bye. Like if you're not gonna come out with me with respect, because the viewer that I'm talking to right now, or the cross watcher, whoever I'm talking to at this time, I feel like you're not gonna just do things for the money. Like you have standards, you have goals and aspirations of your own. Like, and if you're not gonna stay in an establishment or a connection where you are not reciprocated, where it doesn't feel like teamwork, but instead you feel like an outcast. I think at one point there was definitely some like joyous, like contentment. It almost felt like a soul tribe, soul family vibe. And at one point, you two were very happy within this connection. But I feel like somebody's anger or somebody's temperament or jealousy or something like that, that really got the best of them, and they ended up really creating like lies for themselves. Like they started overthinking things, they got super paranoid, and they ended up just like self-sabotaging this connection to the point where you realize like, no, this is unfair. This is not what you signed up for. This is not what you wanted. And you were looking for somebody who was going to be reciprocating, who knew your value, and who wanted you to be a part of their team. If you didn't get that, you're just, willing to just, hold your ground and just be like, deuces. Bye. Like that's what you were thinking. And so, you know, and I see here that your like destiny, the universe really stepped in and really kind of made sure to help you stick with that decision. And so there something happened like overnight, something happened very quickly where it just felt like you were released. I see some sort of release. And so please like see it. I feel like some of you may feel like, oh, you had to leave, you were forced to leave or something like that, but it was ultimately something that you wanted. From an outsider's perspective, they may feel like, oh, you know, the person you were dealing with, they got the last laugh. But if you don't listen to them, don't listen to them. You got to listen to yourself, listen to and see the silver lining here. You didn't want to be in a situation with somebody like that anyways, who just like played, who didn't love and reciprocate you. And so you did everything that happened was out of love. Okay, the fact that you left, the fact that you're no longer there, it was because you were meant for something better, something that's good. I just kind of feel like there was some sort of like toxic energy at your former place of work is what I'm seeing here. And so I see here, you know, when it comes to your future energies, there's going to be something very like strong and happy when it comes to your career. What's going to happen? So this is something that you've been manifesting for a long time. Some of you may have refrained from getting another like source of income, another line of work, because you felt like, you know, you've come to a point in your life where you don't want to just take on any work for the sake of just paying bills and stuff. It's very important for you to do what you love to do. And that's great because it just kind of touches up on the fact that you're taking action to do what you want. That's great because it's just like that saying. It's like you wouldn't feel like working if you do what you love. It wouldn't feel like work. And so you're really trying to kind of like accept that. This is something new for you, like you actually like standing up and willing to sacrifice your, it's a high risk for you. I feel like, you know, you really took some sacrifices when it came to your money. And there was a lot of people that kind of like helped you to stay afloat this long. But I feel like things are going to be better for you. Okay, that's going to be... Okay, so there's something about you're still holding on to something here, okay? You're not being serious about something. Some of you are still have like one foot in like in another doorway kind of thing, another opportunity. You haven't fully embraced yet your soul calling or what you feel more passionate about doing. And so the universe is really encouraging you in order for you to really embrace. It's just kind of like, you know, the job that you have to like pay the bills versus the hobby that you really wanna, or like just the passion thing that you really wanna make into a full-time thing. It's just, if you're gonna give it your all, you gotta give it your all, is what I'm seeing here. There's some essence of you not willing to let go, and it's affecting how like the energy and stuff like that is coming towards you. Some of you need to literally, like in the way you dress, something about like dressing for the job, or like showing up, like whether that's in your appearance. Like for an example, if you're a performer and you're trying to get that like glamoury, glitzy kind of job, you're gonna have to dress the part. You're not gonna just dress. You're not gonna just come in like pajamas and all that, to get a glamorous part. You need to dress and act the part. And so that's definitely like a starter, somewhere you can start to kind of really try to go and head in that direction. Because some of you, like, you don't believe yet. I've been like, you know, that song that I was singing in the beginning too, that's from the album Believe. Like, I think just all of that, like Justin Bieber and stuff like that, has been like on my radar, even with like some of the last reading that I did. I forget which, was it a sign or something like that? Was it Virgo's reading? I think Virgo's reading, Justin Bieber energy came through. Yeah. So maybe there's a message for maybe you're a Virgo, and or perhaps you need to check out that reading, or you've been dealing with a Virgo. But yeah, I just see here you need to dress the part, and I think somebody here is actually going to take notice. So for those of you who are in the public eye, that your work involves some sort of like being in front of a lot of people, a lot of audiences, whether that's physically or through virtually, I think it'll be helpful for you to actually dress and act the part. And it's not to say, oh, like some of you are like, kind of really thinking it too deeply. It's like, oh, but I'm not that kind of person. I'm not like that 24/7. Nobody's like that 24/7. Like, like, obviously, if you want to be that 24/7, like, go ahead. And if it's not, like, damaging for you, and if you find happiness and joy, like, go ahead. But I think most of us, you know, have a, you know, relaxed kind of energy when we're alone and at home, and you know, in our PJs. Like, that's fine, like, but it's a balance, right? If you want some portion of your life to be in front of the limelight or whatever, like, it's okay to embrace and play and just for the part. It's just kind of like, you know, sometimes we go to Halloween parties or St. Patrick's Day parties or something like that, like a themed party. Like, you know, it's like getting in the spirit, like getting in, participating, and just, you know, you can be that person that just goes in and wear regular street clothes to like a costume party, or you can actually show up, dress up, and participate. That doesn't mean you're that character or that person that you came to at the party for the rest of your life. You're not tied to that. And so it's just like, you know, once you start getting comfortable with, you know, playing, having fun, not taking yourself so seriously and others so seriously, it's just like really, you know, if you see kids playing, just playing, having fun, pretending like they're just having fun. It's not like, oh, they're liars. Like, why are they lying? Like, no, like, calm down. Okay, calm down. I know most of you get it. I know most of you get it. But somebody had to hear that. So I'm putting that out there, is you just gotta hear it, and then it's kind of like Inception. Like, once you hear it, at least it's in your radar. And if you miss it the first time, if you keep hearing it and hearing it, it's just gonna come naturally to you. So it's just kind of like, it's okay to play. It's okay to not take things so seriously. And I know it's very hard to let things go, like, but just consider it like as if you're growing. You're just in another time and place in your life, and you don't always have to be the same person each and every time. And I was gonna tell you another story, but we'll save it for another time. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do one more spinny because I feel called to. So we're gonna do one more spinny. We're already over an hour, but you know what? I don't do like long readings often because, as mentioned, I try to like conserve my energy. Because after doing 12 readings, you know, back to back and stuff like that, like even if it's 10 minutes each, like, you know, there's time in between and resets and all of that. Like it's I just try to keep things in balance. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. Balance, must balance. Oh yeah, look at all these guys. Okay, so let's go ahead. Any last messages? Self. Okay. Yourself has something to say. Those of you who are interested in doing a one-on-one personal reading with me, all of that information can be found in the description of this video. It's a great way to kind of like have a deeper look into your situation, and just grow spiritually and have like stronger faith. And if you've been having a lot of like insomnia, not been able to go to sleep or not been able to move on from a situation, perhaps a one-on-one consultation will be very beneficial for you. And the price that I have on right now is such a great price. Like if you try to do, you know, have an in-person and all of that with me, like you're getting it at a fraction of the price. So I would definitely recommend jumping in on that. All right, yourself, what do you want to say? So there's somebody here in your energy that is very like, they held back, like they held back from you. They put you in a bad light. So like they tried to see you in a not so good light. Like they're just trying to change what happened to fit their perspective. And so even if you came at them with loving energy, loving thoughts, loving demeanor, and you know, you always try to be fair, understanding, and all of that, but they tested you. I'm getting a strong like Aries energy and Cancer energy, so they may have some of that strongly placed in their birth chart. Obviously they don't have to be, but I'm just getting like somebody who just kind of like rushes in, says what they want to say, and then rushes back out. And it just, you ended up being very like fed up and tired of that. You just kind of felt like, what am I, you know, what is it, like a pushing bag or punching bag or something like that. Like you weren't their emotional punching bag. Like you have feelings, you have your own ways of thinking things, and you just realize this other person that you've been having interactions with or that tried to get your attention just came with a lot of baggage. That's just the reality of it, okay? This person had a lot of baggage. They also lived kind of far from you or at a distance, and like they weren't willing to put in the work. But I see here, there's somebody else here for you. Huh. So I'm picking up on an energy. They may be like slightly younger than you. I'm picking up on two energies in particular, possibly more. Ooh, possibly more. But somebody here actually wants to marry you, or like wants to be in a long-term or committed connection, and they just kind of see you in this like wonderful light. They may be like a Leo, and I'm also getting Aquarius, so obviously they don't have to be those signs, but I'm just getting somebody who is going to be like your rock, who is going to stand by your side, but at the same time have this like childlike, playful, youthful energy where you guys are going to have the opportunity to be like kids. There is, but at the same time, you know, we're having a human experience, right? And I think there may be some times where like bills or just like different perspectives, ways of thinking is going to be like conflicting. But I just feel like it's not going to be like a huge deal, but it's just a little bit of like conflict. I think this person that's going to be like coming into your life, or you may possibly already know this person, but this person is just like, they like a little, I don't want to say drama, but it's just like for them, they always have to win, or they always have to fight, or they always have to make their point. And I think in the past, if somebody like that kind of like did that on you, you might think of it like, oh no, I don't want to do that. But then now you realize through experience that, you know, when somebody does something like that, it's because like they're living like passionately, is one way to say it. They are living very passionately, like saying what's on their mind, and going for what they want. And I think that's something that you would appreciate, because right now you're in this place in your life where you're just kind of like going with the flow while setting boundaries. So it's just like a directed flow. And so by being met with somebody who is more of like a visionary and goes after what they want, like it's sort of in alignment with what you're looking for, somebody who kind of goes with what they want. And so it's like it's their love language in a sense is what I'm picking up. So okay, so yourself wants to say that right now you're still kind of healing is what I'm picking up. Like there's just a lot of people, a lot of energies who are trying to get your attention, and you're just trying to be more mindful and strict about who you let in your life. But somebody here who really likes you is going to make the effort. Okay, give me I feel like you might reconnect with somebody that like you kind of cut off out of your life in the past, but they keep wanting to like come back and want to try something else, and like I don't think it would hurt to kind of like hear them out and see what they have to say. Why? Why? Oh, just to confirm, yeah, you don't want them. Yeah, just to confirm you don't want them. Because some of you are second guessing yourself. You're just like, oh, do I want this person? Do I not want this person? Oh, what if they made an effort? What if they did this? And then you just realize like same stuff, different day. Same stuff, different day. Some of you kind of just need like a physical release or something like that. Like just like one night of fun. Oh my gosh. One night of fun? No, 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 no. No, no, no. Okay. It's saying okay, some of you are going to be convinced, like Oh, yeah, we'll just go on. Let's just have some fun. Let's just have some fun. And you guys are going to be, some of you may be approached like that, but just know it's like all a tactic. So this was kind of like a warning, getting a warning energy right now. Like, yeah, somebody here just wants your flesh. They're kind of like manipulative, okay? And so it seems to me like you want somebody that you want a fresh new beginning with, that is going to be in a real connection with you that lasts the test of time, and somebody that you just kind of vibe with and get along with. I'm getting somebody like an intellectual is what I'm getting. You're looking for somebody who's like smart enough to like carry on conversations and like do the right thing, like know what they're doing. But yeah, I think you're just like, you're gonna be tested. Okay, you're gonna be tested again, and just the universe checking in and making sure you understand, you understand what's going on. And but I see here you're gonna be tested again. You're gonna be like, there's gonna be this person that comes in, has a youthful energy, just like, oh, let's just have a good time. Let's just have fun. And then you realize that, you know, they just kind of only had one thing in mind, and but we want something more. What they have to offer is not good enough for you. Yeah. Final advice. Uphold your, I think it's kind of circling back to, I put an Instagram post up of like this quote that I channeled, that came to mind, and it was something about like hold your standards, like uphold your boundaries. And that's kind of the message that's coming through. It's like, you know what needs to be worked on, you know what needs to be improved, and I see you like trying very hard, but there is some level of like mental entrapment. You're just like, oh, okay, well, maybe I should give this person a chance, or like whatever. But it's saying just know your worth, uphold boundaries that you have set for yourself. Like, you put those, just remember why you put those boundaries up in the first place. I don't think, you know, you were using, as mentioned earlier, like these labels, these definitions, like setting boundaries is not it's not a bad thing. Like, it can be a good thing sometimes. And just kind of protecting your, if it's to help protect your sanity in a sense. And so obviously if it's coming from like an ego-based thing, then that's different. But if you're putting that kind of boundary up with appropriate people, obviously you know, it wouldn't make sense to put up boundaries with people like who just, it just is different with per person. I don't think you should put, you know, it's just different. So I think there's just basic boundaries that like we all have. Even our skin. Why do we have skin? It's a protective barrier. There's nothing wrong with that. But dang, this air energy wants to like come through. Should we give them a little? Should we give them the floor? Let them have a little chat. Okay, fine. All right, so there is like an air energy that wants to come through. I'm getting Aquarius, Libra, possibly Gemini. Sure, we'll throw them in there. But or somebody with those strong placements in their birth chart. So let's see. Career. Really? You want to talk about career with them? Oh my gosh. Okay. So if you're an air sign, I guess you want a little extra career advice. Somebody with strong placements, air in their sun, moon, rising. Career. What's the career message? All right, let's just do past, present, future. Get all the grounds covered. Ooh. Just kidding. Oh, finally, this is good. This is good stuff. Okay, so I see here in the past that there was some like somebody here was very firm. Like they know what they want, they knew what they want, and they didn't want to just like go and do whatever that caught their fancy. They wanted something long term. They wanted something that would last the test of time, and it's something that they want to grow, invest their time and energy with. And so I see here that you're very picky in a sense, not just pouring your energy into just anything, um, especially when it came to your work. And so I see here in your current energy that there is this opportunity for like this fresh new beginning. I think it's time. Like whatever is happening energetically, I know we have some eclipses coming up and even astrological new year, right? With Aries starting in just a few days. It's practically here, right? We're definitely feeling some of that pull, that Mars energy, that Aries energy coming through. Like you can feel it. It's just around the corner. And so I see here that energetically things are shifting, things are different. There's going to be some sort of enlightenment, and there's going to be more opportunities like coming through. It's almost going to be like a faded kind of thing where it just kind of activates something. So some of you may get really good news. Some of you may be working with like an Aquarius or somebody with like strong air energy or those qualities or those strong placements in their birth chart. But I just feel like you've been making some wishes, okay? You've been making some wishes, and it's coming to a reality when it comes to your career. Some of you was definitely like torn between two different fields or two different lines of work, two different projects or something like that. And you were just really like, I'm getting this like hands up in the air and like not wanting to choose in a sense. You just kind of felt like, oh, like I don't know what to do, what's going to happen. And then there's going to be an opportunity that comes and you're just like, this feels right. And it's reciprocal. I'm getting this reciprocal energy where it's just like they need you, you need them. It almost becomes like a very good teamwork partnership. So some of you, as mentioned, like you've been very like unsure about like what's going to happen when it comes to your career or finances. I feel like something that happened in the past. I get hiccups when I channel, so you know you'll pick that up sometimes when I do my readings. But I see here that this is like a life-changing thing. I think perhaps like where you used to work is totally and completely like different than what you used to do and what you do now. It might be like totally different. And this is something that you know, when it comes to your ego and your mindset and how you were raised to think and believe, like you kind of felt, some of you may have felt like you were a failure, or you felt like you gave up, but that's what needed to be corrected. There's nothing wrong. Like people change jobs, people change careers, people pursue what they want to do or what have you. Sometimes once, sometimes more than once, like throughout their lives or whatever. And I personally see that it's because it's how I see it is the universe is conspiring in our favor. Okay, so if things are changing, it's because, you know, with an example of the planetary shifts and transits and stuff like that, it's because things are changing. Like you're changing, your surroundings are changing. The work environment and how you used to do things is a lot different than how things were done even just a few years back, especially with the pandemic and everything. different ways of making money has changed. You know, there's remote work, and you don't necessarily, like, if it's physically straining on you to do certain types and lines of work nowadays, then, you know, than how it was for you a few years ago. It's different. It's different. And I know that the universe wants to really acknowledge that I don't want to say they're sorry, but they're just trying to be empathetic towards the fact that, yes, it's been a struggle for you, like not knowing what's going to happen next. There is this some element of surprise. I've been getting that even as I was shuffling. Like there's, like, the universe didn't necessarily want to just reveal everything. Like earlier too about love and stuff like that. You know how we were asking, oh, what's the ultimate outcome and stuff like that. And it's just the universe. So it's not, I know some people think like, oh, like this, so what are you saying with all of this divination, astrology? Does that mean like everything's set in stone, blah, blah, blah? It's just like, we all know how the story is, like where it's going in a sense, like where nothing is ever the same forever in a sense. Like, but all we know is everything is continuous, everything is going, like something's shifting, at least with our time and energy here. And so all I know is this. You're being guided, you're being shown, you're at the right place at the right time. And I know sometimes you may not see it that way. Sometimes it just may feel like the world it can be so hard or difficult, or like things may not be going its way, but it's just, that's your perspective. And that's the perspective and mentality that you need to let go of and heal from, and just have this faith and inner knowing that the universe is trying to help you. So any other messages for career? It's saying right now, like, rest. I feel like you just have to have that inner faith. I'm kind of getting this visual of like a slow cooker. It's just like the slow cooker, you like set it up and hours go by, hours, and you're just like, when is this ever gonna be done, be completed? Will I ever get it made? And it's like, it's like you know in your heart, you have faith that yeah, it's going to get made. It's going to get made. But I think the fact that you're just like waiting on it, and like this is kind of like your waiting period before the slow cooker kind of cooks or is ready, and it goes ding, and you're like, oh, okay, it's ready now. But it's like, until you get to that point, it's just enjoy this time. I feel like some of you haven't rested like this in a long time. Like not having something to do, or like just resting and healing. I see here some of you have had like health problems or difficulties or challenges, and it's saying like the universe is giving you an opportunity to fully heal. I think that your ego has been like, come on, let's go. Like, let's do this. Like, when are we going to do this? When are we going to do that? But it's just like everything has a timing. It's just like, especially nowadays, the season right now is like cherry blossom season, right? They're only a bloom once a year for in the span of like 2 weeks or so. And you can't really rush the process, but the flowers know, they know when to bloom. They know when everything just feels right, everything is perfectly aligned, they know when to bloom. So it's kind of like that, like the flowers blooming, when it's your time, when it's your turn, like it's going to happen. But just just continue focusing on yourself right now, per like kind of have this visualization that you are the tree, and that you need to kind of tend to your roots and tend to yourself, and ask yourself, like, are you surrounded in a fertile soil, so to speak, like in an environment where you will thrive, and are you headed in the right direction? Are you nurturing yourself? Are you drinking enough water? Like, are you eating nutritious meals and stuff like that? It's kind of like the universe is giving you the time and space to really kind of get back to your roots, right? And see what needs to be addressed and assessed before things just starts rapidly blooming and things are going to work out for you. But I see here there's this like steadiness and consistency that is the advice coming through. I think some of you've been at this for a long time. Okay, you've been kind of working on something here. Like you may not have necessarily took like big actions towards it, but you've been consistent in a sense and putting in the work here and there. And I think there's going to be a time, like this fast moment where everything just shifts, where it just shifts, and it's going to work in your favor, and you're just gonna be wondering and recollecting, like, oh my gosh, what was I worried for? Like, what was I worried for? And you will realize that, like, wow, the universe really gave me a time and the space and a period to really relax, really heal, even though your ego was like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. But the universe, Earth, knows. Your higher self knows, like, when it's time. So just keep, tending to your roots in a sense, okay? Keep going. Don't feel like guilty about resting or healing. It, I'm also getting this imagery, like, recently, especially even with like winter here, it was a fall and winter, like it's just about just shedding, resting. So as we approach spring, just it's gonna get busy. I see you going to get busy. Things are gonna be more lively, and before you know it, you're gonna be back out there. So for right now, just take it easy, rest up. Any final messages? It's coming. It's coming. You're gonna have a brand new beginning. I'm kind of getting this imagery of like a butterfly, like just coming out of its cocoon and just ready to fly. I see that for you. So, yeah, again, if you have been worried about your career, your finances, and stuff like that, do, take things slow and steady, and just stay consistent, and rest when you can. Please make the time and the effort to rest. All right. So thank you so much for watching. I know we've been recording now for 90 minutes. If you stayed this far, thank you for hanging out, listening in, and let me know what you think, what you thought about this longer content. As mentioned, I usually like to just keep it like 10 minutes, just so that I don't burn out when I do all 12 signs. But I think it's necessary sometimes to have like a long session where we just kind of get to know each other and hang out, and so that you can see just like the overall collective picture about what's going on. If you feel called to have a personal reading with me, all of that information can be found in the description of this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I do appreciate it, and I do read all the comments. So for those of you who are returning and was able to listen to this in its entirety and have, messaged and liked and shared and subscribed in the past, thank you again so much. And I look forward to making more memories with you.